Today, we're going to talk about the real story behind central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. Now, you've probably heard the term thrown around, right? But the story we're usually told, the one about convenience and modern finance, well, that might just be the cover story for one of the biggest shifts in state power we've ever seen.
So let's just start with a really provocative question. What if this global race to create digital money isn't really about making your life easier? What if it's actually about control? Just keep that question in the back of your mind, because it is the key to understanding everything that's coming next.
You see, on the one hand, you have the common view, the official narrative. CBDCs are all about faster payments, less friction, and just generally modernizing finance. But the real story, well, it's a lot bigger than that. We're talking about a new type of geopolitical weapon, a powerful new tool for the state, and maybe even something that could fundamentally redefine what national sovereignty even means.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, how on earth do we get from a simple payment app to a geopolitical weapon? Well, first, we need to get crystal clear on what a CBDC actually is, because, let me tell you, it's so much more than just digital cash.
A central bank digital currency is pretty much what it says on the tin. It's digital money, issued directly by the state. Now, this is different from the money in your bank account right now. That money is technically a liability of a commercial bank. A CBDC, on the other hand, is a direct claim on the central bank itself. The keywords you need to remember here are backed and, most importantly, controlled.
And let's be super clear. This is the polar opposite of something like Bitcoin. A CBDC is completely centralized and issued by the state. It's not decentralized and it's not privately issued like a stablecoin. But here's the most crucial difference, the real game changer. It's designed to be fully traceable. Every single transaction can be seen, monitored, and recorded by the authority that issues it.
And look, this is not some niche, futuristic concept we're talking about. Look at this number, 98%. That's the percentage of global GDP represented by countries that are, as we speak, exploring, developing, or have already launched a CBDC. This is happening everywhere, and it's happening incredibly fast.
Which, of course, brings us to the big question. Why? Why is nearly every single major economy on the planet sprinting towards this new kind of money all at once? Well, the answer has a lot less to do with cool new tech and everything to do with power.
And that brings us to the first huge piece of this puzzle, the world's, let's call it, complicated relationship with the US dollar. For many countries, it's become the dollar dominance problem.
You see, for decades, the dollar's role as the world's reserve currency has given the United States an absolutely extraordinary amount of power. It's the bedrock of its ability to impose sanctions, to conduct financial surveillance, and to basically control the plumbing of the global economy. If you want to move serious money internationally, you pretty much have to go through the US financial system.
But here's the thing. Weaponizing the dollar like that, it has consequences. It gives other countries, especially America's rivals, a massive incentive to find an alternative. And right now, they are actively building a financial escape route.
And the country that's leading the charge, the one pouring the concrete for that escape route, is China.
Now, this is a really crucial point to get. China's digital yuan, the ECNY, isn't primarily about replacing cash for Chinese citizens. I mean, that's a nice side benefit, but its main strategic purpose is to create a brand new set of financial rails for the world, rails that completely bypass the dollar-based system. And here's how it's actually working. You have projects like the CBDC bridge, which China is pioneering with other central banks. They're creating direct connections, like a new highway system for money. This allows two countries to settle a trade deal instantly, using their own digital currencies without ever having to convert to dollars or use the SWIFT messaging system, which is overseen by Western powers. It is a direct challenge to the old way of doing things.
Okay, so that's the huge international power struggle playing out. But these new tools also have the power to dramatically change the relationship between a government and its own people. And this is where the debate gets very, very personal. You see, CBDCs open the door to a powerful and kind of scary new idea, programmable money. This means the state can actually build rules directly into the money itself. Imagine getting stimulus money that literally expires in 30 days to force you to spend it. Or funds that can only be spent on certain things, like groceries, but not on, say, gasoline. The potential for control here is absolutely immense.
And this creates a really fundamental tension. From the state's point of view, this level of control is a dream come true. Think perfect tax collection, super effective crisis response, or the ability to instantly stop money from fleeing the country. But for you, the citizen, it raises massive questions about privacy, financial autonomy, and just the basic freedom to do what you want with your own money.
Now, big global institutions like the IMF and the Bank for International Settlements, they see this all coming. They know the old system is fracturing. So their goal isn't to stop it, but to manage it. They're trying to create a common rulebook, some shared technical standards, so that all these new national CBDCs can still talk to each other, and the whole thing doesn't just descend into total financial chaos.
So, where does all of this leave us? Well, when you look at all the evidence, it seems pretty clear we're not really debating if this is going to happen. We're just watching the dawn of an inevitable new era in the story of money and power.
When you boil it all down, CBDCs are really just a symptom of a much bigger shift happening in the world. They're a technical solution born out of declining trust between global powers. They're a powerful new tool in the great game of geopolitical competition, and they represent a brand new chapter in the evolution of state power itself. So ultimately, it's not really helpful to think of this technology as good or evil. It's a tool. And like any powerful tool, its impact is going to depend entirely on who is wielding it and why. But its arrival, that now seems pretty much inevitable.
So, we end up right back where we started, but now the question is a lot sharper. The real question we should be asking isn't whether CBDCs are coming, it's who. Who is going to write the rules for this new money? Who will control it? And maybe most importantly, on what terms will we, the citizens, be allowed to use it? That is the conversation we all need to be having right now.